Hey everyone, we welcome whoever is watching this presentation on the replay. Tamar and I are excited to share tonight, and we are doing things differently today. So as I share my screen, I'm gonna tell you Tamar's brilliant idea that she had. And Tamar, a couple of weeks ago, asked me, what do you think about breaking up some of these presentations that we do into smaller pieces? Because our bodies are so complex and there's so many things that we can turn on within our bodies that it can get overwhelming to listen to all of it at one time. And I thought it's a brilliant idea, Tamar. And so we decided to do that. And so tonight we're going to share some basics on what activation is and our master antioxidants, because it's a really great place to start. And it's where we're going to share where the concept of cellular activation started, especially with the company that we partner with, 𝐈𝐧𝐭𝐢𝐈𝐧. And so we're excited about doing that tonight. So we're going to keep it simple and share with you from the root of our antioxidants and some of the root causes of what ails us in life.
Yeah.
So we're not going to introduce ourselves until the end, but for those of you who don't know us, my name is Mary, and that's my friend Tamar.
Hi.
All
Glad
right,
you're
awesome. So let's get started. Okay, aging. It is a blessing and it is a challenge. I love the quote on this slide. It's one that a friend shared years ago, and she had lost her cousin to cancer, and she was my best friend in high school, Beth. Beth died from cancer in her 30s, and much too young. And my friend Rachel shared this quote, and I'll never forget it. I think about it every year when I have a birthday, to not regret getting older because it is a privilege denied to many. And so that's something I think about. And one of my passions, and Tamar's passion, is helping others age with the full capabilities of their bodies.
Yeah.
And that's why we're sharing this information, because your body is a miracle and you can turn it on to function more optimally as it was designed. You have built-in capabilities that are just waiting to be turned on, just like your phone or your car may have functions that you don't know about. And when you look in the user manual, you find out, what? This was here the whole time? That's the idea of activation, and we're so excited to share it with you. As we get started, I just want to ask you to think about, when you think about aging, what do you think the root cause of aging is? Just think about it in your head. What do you think it is? I think a lot of people would say time, right? Because as time passes, we show the visible signs of aging, just like this picture shows. But you might be surprised. It's not just time that ages us. One of the root causes of aging is the challenge of free radicals. So free radicals are not only made in our body while we have cellular processes happening, but they're also created from our environment. So it may be the ionizing radiation that we experience from all of the technology that we have in our world, the cell phone towers, and then you've got, all the toxins and the chemicals that are in our food, our water, our, you know, personal care products. All of these things damage our cells and our DNA. And that is one of the root causes of aging and dis-ease, as I like to call it, getting away from homeostasis. So I love this picture here of the free radical. So the free radicals are taking electrons from our atoms and making them, when you lose an electron, it it's more damaging. So if there's an odd number of electrons, it's damaging to our cells. And that's what free radicals do. We're constantly getting bombarded by them, and it's damaging us on the inside. So the good thing about antioxidants is that they donate an electron, they neutralize that free radical without becoming a free radical. So that's awesome, right? So antioxidants can definitely be helpful to us in our journey, and that's what we're going to dig into today. Before we do that, I just want to give you a little glimpse of what free radical damage, also known as oxidative stress, what it can do in our body. So just like an apple rots when you keep it on the counter and it's exposed to the air, our cells are being damaged. That's what it looks like on the inside in our cells. So you can see the normal cell and you can see the cell affected by oxidative stress. And then you can see this graphic that shows you all of the dis-ease states that are linked to oxidative stress and free radical damage. Hundreds of disease states from, like you can see it there, it affects everywhere in our body, you know, including our brain. So neurological conditions, anybody with a neurological condition, they suffer from more oxidative stress than someone who doesn't. So that's a very huge thing. And that's another reason why we want to share what we're sharing tonight, because I feel like, especially with neurological conditions, there is like a lack of hope, right? Like there's nothing we can do. It feels like there's nothing we can do. However, tonight we're going to share, yes, there is something we can do to give our body a leg up to combat that oxidative stress and free radical damage. So we're going to keep going because we were going to get to the exciting part. But one of the things that I wanted to encourage you to do is to go to pubmed.gov and search for oxidative stress and some sort of ailment that you suffer from, and you can see the link between the two. And one of the things that always catches my eye is that exponential growth in articles that you see over the years when it comes to oxidative stress and disease. We're beginning to understand the link more, and that is a good thing. You know, Tamara and I talk about this often, but sometimes we're so busy looking toward a cure that we forget about all of this stuff behind the root causes. What if we could address these root causes and help these root causes be neutralized? What would that do for our body? We're going to talk about that tonight too. So we have a built-in solution to combat this oxidative stress, you know, and it's in the realm of antioxidants. So this is the antioxidant pyramid, and you can see that when you go up the pyramid, it has a increasingly protective effect. The antioxidants that we try to eat, they are merely playing a buffering role. They are important, but they're only buffering that damage. They're not neutralizing it. So when we think of even pomegranates, I'll put that cute pomegranate on there because we think about pomegranates and they have this powerful antioxidant capacity, but it's very minimal compared to what our body can do by itself. And so this is the antioxidant pyramid, and the ones at the top are the ones that are made by your body. Your body can make them. These are the ones that have a really huge impact and are part of your defense system in your body. So we're going to share a little bit tonight about these antioxidants, and specifically we wanted to start with the one at the top. It's SOD for short, but the long term for it is superoxide dismutase. Okay, long word. We're going to just break it down for you and tell you more about it. But we want to tell you about the man who discovered it. So this master antioxidant was discovered all the way back in 1968. You think about it now, it's 2025. How many people do we know that have not heard about SOD,
Yeah.
superoxide dismutase? I didn't hear about it until 2015, I will say. Tamar, do you remember when you heard about it?
Thinking, I would have to say it's probably since I've found LifeVantage and Life
Hmm.
Me, because I've just learned so much about the body's processes since the,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Hmm.
I think it was in the beginning of 2021.
Yeah. So it's, if you think about it, it's like 50 years later and we're learning about these things that were discovered all the way back in 1968. But Dr. McCord was the one who discovered SOD through his research with another co-researcher. And but his discovery was so significant that antioxidant is measured in his name. The units are McCord units. They made his name the measure of unit for this antioxidant, which is just huge if you think about it.
Amazing.
Um, and he, for that discovery that he had, he won the last Elliott Crescent Medal given back in 1997. And you can see all the other people that have won that award as well. Nikola Tesla, Gerald Ford, or Henry Ford, sorry, Henry Ford, Mary Curie won that award. So you can see all the amazing people who have won that Elliott Crescent Medal, and it just gives you kind of an idea of how significant that medal is. And Dr. McCord received it for discovering SOD. So that set Dr. McCord on a path of researching free radicals and our human biology that can combat free radicals. And he learned all about our cellular biology. And he put together a product that can neutralize our free radicals in our body by upregulating, turning up those master antioxidants, including SOD. And I only recently learned this, but he originally tried to do it with pharmaceuticals. But then he realized that the power of herbs was stronger to activate these antioxidants, and it could do it. He figured out a way to do it intelligently. So
Mhm.
it's not like you're always on, always on, always on. It's like when you need it.
Yes.
It's it's such a complicated thing we're not going to get into today, but it's just to give you an idea. And so Dr. McCord put together the flagship product at LifeVantage, and that product was investigated by an ABC primetime and John Quinones in 2005 because ABC primetime got wind of his research and what he was claiming it did and this product. And so ABC primetime said, well, we got to investigate this because, they're making these statements and we got to see if it's true. So he was the first person on this prime time to take the NRF2 activator and they did blood tests to see what happened. So we actually have a clip of this ABC primetime that we can share with you if you want to see it. But this ABC primetime investigation showed what this product was doing. And it was reducing oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days on average. And so the research eventually, which will show you all of the organizations that have researched this NRF2 activator, it bears proof that this is true. And so we have an FDA approved statement, which is huge.
Yes.
For a supplement. It's unheard of because supplements cannot make claims for the FDA. And a lot of times supplements are not researched well and often don't have what they say they have in them, which is a whole nother can of worms that we won't get into tonight. But just know that this NRF2 activator has an FDA approved statement and also has the research to back what it does. Okay, so more on that in a minute. So what can this do in our body? You can see what activation did for this woman on the right. This was our activated collagen that helped her skin health. And we know that our skin health is a representation of what our internal health and our gut health looks like, which our activators can help. But that's a topic for another day. We're going to focus on our antioxidants today. And so a little bit more about that. We have the capability of making our own antioxidants by flipping a switch to turn back on their production. It's like over time, our faucet of antioxidants slows down like everything else. We can open that back up and turn on that flow of antioxidants in our body. And that is through the power of this and the activator itself, the NRF2 activator. There's a lot of words on this slide, but I felt like it was really cool information to go back to. And this is an overview of our master antioxidants that our body can make. And each one of our antioxidants neutralizes a free radical in our body. And I learned new things today that my mind was blown. So SOD, when it breaks down the free radical superoxide, it actually produces hydrogen peroxide, which is another free radical that our cells make when they're doing their processes. And so it's interesting that an antioxidant can actually then produce another free radical. Oh, but don't worry, you have another antioxidant that your body can make that then neutralizes the hydrogen peroxide. And that antioxidant is catalase. And so catalase is huge, you all, because it can actually slow down the graying process of your hair. Because if you think about it, what does hydrogen peroxide do? It bleaches.
Mhm.
So that is the reason we get gray hair. And I learned that a few years ago and I was floored. So this lady in the picture that you see here, she reversed her gray, not through dye, but through activating her body's antioxidants. And at first, before I understood it, I said, there is no way. I'm like, she had to have dyed her hair because how else would her hair gray be growing out? But then I learned it's catalase, and we can turn back on the catalase production in our body by flipping that switch with our NRF2 activator. Amazing stuff, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. And
It's cool.
I know, and Tamar knows this, but there are actually people who will get glutathione IVs,
Yeah.
and they're not cheap, and they don't make your body produce its own. They're just trying to put some in your body, and that might last a little while, but it's not going to produce your own. But you can produce your own glutathione. And the NRF2 activator has been shown to increase your glutathione by 300%. So it's pretty awesome stuff.
That is so
And yeah, so that's why Tamara and I are just so passionate about sharing it. We want everyone that we know to know how awesome their body is and what it is capable of. So the other picture that I put on the screen is one that I have seen for years and it always blows my mind. And this was with our NRF2 activator. There's a condition called alopecia where people's hair fall out and it's hard for them to regrow their hair. And this woman was able to regrow her hair because she addressed the root cause, one of the root causes, oxidative stress, and then she was able to grow out her hair. That testimony always floors me, and it just is a powerful representation of what is possible. So how does this work? Well, it is through the combination of 5 herbs that Dr. McCord put together, and those you can see on the bottom of the screen. So the problem with dietary antioxidants is that it's a one-to-one neutralization of our free radicals.
Mhm.
And that is not going to solve the problem of massive free radical damage. Like our cells are being bombarded at a huge rate Like this graphic calls it an onslaught. It's an onslaught of cellular damage. And you can't get rid of that with a 1-to-1 ratio. That's why we need to turn on our body's built-in capabilities. So with our NRF2 activator, you can see the ingredients there. You would have to eat 110 cups of blueberries every day to be able to match what one Protandim is doing in your body. It neutralizes 1 million free radicals every second in every cell. So it's just mind-blowing, really. You would have to eat 77 tablespoons of turmeric every second to match the power of Protandim. And that is an amazing thing. And we owe that capability, that discovery of what our body is possible, really, we owe it to Joe McCord, who put together this product, found that combination, that blend of these herbs that are microdosed that have such a huge impact. And you can see I'm holding it there in the graphic. It's a little yellow pill, and it's so powerful. So I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to see all of the institutions that have researched this specific NRF2 activator in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. And we go into some of these studies and other presentations, like the LSU study was on the incidence and spread of melanoma. And then NRF2 activation got put into our skincare line so that your body has a leg up as it tries to fight against the incidence and the spread of melanoma. So amazing stuff. That's the research, the pieces that have researched it independently.
Yeah, independently with their own money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the most part. I think there were some where there was some funding eventually from LifeVantage, but a lot of them independently studied this. And that's what they mentioned as well in the ABC Primetime and Update video. So that's really awesome too.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So the study that was done by Washington State University, they actually made a statement in their study that NRF2 activation may become the most extraordinary and therapeutic, the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine, which just is a huge, huge statement to make. But you can see it in the results. So this works in all mammals, and that's why we have a picture of a horse. Many people activate their animals. All mammals have these NRF2 pathway that you can activate. So it's really amazing, and that's why I include that on there. We can not only help ourselves live longer, but we can help our animals live longer too. And we all want that support as we go along in life. As I said earlier, there's a lot of different pathways that we can activate. And the great thing about LifeVantage is that they're synergistic. Our products are designed with synergy, so they enhance the effect of one another. So if you're interested in learning more about our other activators, just let us know. We'll shoot along another presentation we did that kind of touch on these other pathways. And you can stay tuned because we're going to keep doing this and focus on different things each presentation. So next, I bet we'll do mitochondria because those are also huge in the aging process and the disease process that we experience in life. So just one more time, I wanted to show you this antioxidant pyramid. Instead of trying to supplement and eat our antioxidants, we can actually create our own. And we can do that through pathways that we turn on in our body. We're not trying to fill deficiencies. We're just turning on our body's capabilities. It's amazing. And the results really do speak for themselves. The possibilities are just too powerful. And that's why we don't keep it to ourselves. These are pictures of people who have been activated and animals that have been activated, and you can see the difference. One of the things you can see in that top right pictures, this isn't the same dog, they're brothers. One So they're both the same age, and you can see that one is activated and one isn't, and you can see the difference in how they've aged. Well, we like to say at LifeVantage that well, not at LifeVantage, but a lot of people that partner with LifeVantage love to say like we're literally helping people age backwards at the cellular level. And you can see this woman 45 days on the activated collagen, and her wrinkles are filling in. And I'll briefly touch on the collagen and what it's doing to our antioxidants in the next slide. But it's just crazy. And you can see my eyes. I put my eye picture here because it literally, my eyes have just opened up so much. The color of my eyes has brightened. The white of my eyes has gotten more white. And that's because our eyes are 90% collagen. And it looks like I got an eye lift, and I didn't. It literally looks like every day I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, my eyelids are so different. And it's really just another visual
That's
sign.
might possibly be my favorite activation picture of all. I just so incredible. It's all though mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, whenever I compared the difference, I just thought, wow. And this was over a couple of years I had been using the collagen, and somebody had made a comment of my eyes, and I had to go back and compare. So that was the difference. So just briefly with our collagen, it is also upregulating our antioxidants. Not only is it turning back on our collagen production and slowing down the degradation of our collagen, it is upregulating our SOD by 27 times. That is huge. It's like 2,700%, you all. It's crazy. Not only is it doing that, but it's increasing our blood catalase level by 202%. And that was actually shown in a research study. And it's just amazing. And it's because our collagen has not only does it have 10 types of collagen peptides, the different types of collagen, it's turning back on our production through our genes responsible for collagen production. So it's just awesome. The picture on this slide, this is Sherry. I just recently heard her testimony. She is a cancer survivor, and she has been, she added our mind-body GLP-1 system into her routine, and her hair has grown back so quickly that her doctors are saying, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And that's how a lot of in the medical field hear about activation, because they're asked their patients, what are you doing? We've never seen this before, or this doesn't happen usually. What are you doing? And what they are doing is activating their body's capabilities through giving the body targeted nutrients in a formulation that turns on our capabilities. It's just a beautiful thing, really. I know we get excited about it, and because we just have to keep sharing. So, so where is activation available? This is another awesome thing. I have some friends in Germany and one in France who was interested in seeing this presentation. And the cool thing is that many of our activators are available to them in Germany and France. So I can literally share this presentation with my friends over there, and they can go to my website and get these activators for themselves. And our GLP-1 activator is actually launching in Europe in April, and our collagen has already been launched in many overseas and Asian markets. So it's really amazing that this is available in these countries. And many times LifeVantage will actually have to reformulate them, because many countries overseas and in Asia, they have such strict regulations that they have to actually reformulate them. And they're allowed in all of these countries, which is just a really great testimony to LifeVantage and what they're capable of doing, and their dedication to finding safe, effective, and the ingredients that are available and regulated by these different countries. So that's an amazing thing as well. So what are the next steps for your wellness? Right now, we're actually having a March initiative. So we're calling it From March Madness to March Wellness. Here in America, we have the college basketball tournament that everybody goes crazy and mad for. But Tamar and I were really focusing on wellness. So we have some really great opportunities for people who are new customers to get a 10% rebate in March up to $15. And another great thing is that we are here to help you figure out what is the best route for you to take based on your needs for activation for you. So we also have referral bonuses where we will actually give you a rebate for referring people who end up getting activated. And we're having giveaways this month. So it's just a really fun opportunity to save on product, refer people that you care about, that you want to live longer and healthier, and have a chance to win prizes. So that's what we have going on in March. It's a great opportunity. Just reach out to us if you're interested in taking advantage or learning more about anything that we've talked about tonight. And then before we wrap up, I just wanted to share just briefly about, we're going to just share about ourselves just really briefly. So you know who we are if you're just seeing this for the first time and you don't know us yet. So I used to be in the Army and I used to work at a hospital. And I really turned to holistic wellness after a personal health challenge of mine. And it got me to dig into what our bodies, how our bodies work. And a friend had shared activation with me originally, and it opened up a whole new world to me. And since then, I've just been diving more and more into holistic wellness and finding those natural solutions that can be an aid to our journey. So that can come alongside and complement what we might be doing on the Western medicine side or what we're doing with our nutrition and lifestyles. So this is a great complement. And so that's just a little bit about me. Tamar, do you want to share about yourself?
Well, sure. I'm Tamar Helmick, and I got to meet Mary through also the same friend that introduced it to her, but I live in Portage, Michigan, quite a little ways away. But yes, like she said, I also went through a health journey and crisis. I've actually struggled with my health ever since I was really little. I had like multiple ear problems and was on multiple antibiotics, and then struggled in my teens and was on multiple medications. And then in my 20s and after I had my daughter, it led me to seek holistic treatments because I had exhausted all other avenues and really was just getting frustrated with just the typical answers. And was always looking for a root solution to the root cause. And I found different modalities, like we talked about the glutathione drips and doing chelation for heavy metals and all the things because of the toxicities of the things that we do. But anyways, led me to something that I can actually do every single day that is exponentially more powerful than anything that I've ever researched or found. The efficacy is just like mind blowing. And when we talk about it, it's just like truly unbelievable the impact it's had on my own health and well-being and literally every aspect of my life. And just the more I feel the activation work in my body, it builds on itself. And it's just like, it's amazing. And so, yeah, it's transformed my life and just opened up a whole new world to be able to share what this has done in our lives. So
Awesome. And yeah, you make new friends. It's when you dive into holistic wellness, you make new friends. And I'm
definitely.
so thankful that our mutual friend introduced us because now we're soul sisters and we go through life and we support each other and we grow and we learn. We go to conferences together and it's just awesome. So we will not stop sharing. We will
Yep.
not stop sharing about cellular activation. And we want to thank you for coming to this presentation tonight. And there's ways that you can stay connected. So we have a Facebook community group, and there's actually a couple of different groups you could join. There's one called Proactive Health and Wellness that's very active, and there's a lot of great testimonies and resources in there. And then you can email me. You can always email me if you want to ask a question or stay in touch that way. But let's connect We're both on social media. There's ways to get in touch with us. But our vision is really that we're building a community of wellness advocates who empower others to live their most vibrant lives. That's
Yes.
our goal. That's what we want for everyone. And cellular activation for us is a huge part of that. So if you have any questions, please let us know. And yeah, we are always here to help and help you navigate your wellness journey and how cellular activation can help you.
Yeah.
Oh.
For coming on and